Hi guys! Today I'm going to be showing you how you can make this stained glass keychain. I think it's pretty nifty. I really like it. You're going to need a few things to make it happen. So the first thing you're going to need is something called shrink film. Now the brand name is called Shrinky Dinks, but this is just generic off-brand shrink film. You're going to need scissors, a hole punch, permanent markers, parchment paper, not wax paper, it has to be parchment paper, and a keychain of sorts. Now I pulled this off of something else that I had in my room. You can do the same thing, or you can go to a craft store. They sell keychains already made for you to just take off the shelf. So the first thing that you want to do is decide on your design. One thing to keep in mind is the way that this shrink film works. So we're going to draw on it, cut our design out, and then stick it in the oven. And when we stick it in the oven, it shrinks and shrinks and shrinks and hardens. So when you're making your design, keep in mind that however big you make your design, it's going to shrink to a tiny fraction of that. For instance, this is how big my keychain is, right? Do we see that? That's how big my keychain is. It's pretty small. This is how big I drew the design. This is more accurate, but this is another image. So compare the two. This is how big I drew it. This is how big it came out. As you can see, it's going to shrink a lot. So pick a design. I chose to go with a bunch of circles and kind of flower formation, and then you want to go ahead and color it in using permanent markers. You cannot use washable markers for this. It has to be permanent markers. Once you color it in using your permanent markers, you want to go ahead and cut your design out. Now, you can do what I did and what I'm doing again, which is cutting a circle around the design. That's going to mean my keychain is going to have a border. If you don't want your keychain to have a border, you can cut the shape out exactly, but keep in mind, guys, it's going to shrink a lot. It shrinks so much. So it might not show up the way you want it to. I suggest leaving at least a little bit of a border around your design. Cool. So we have our design all cut out. Now we're going to take our hole punch. Here's the thing with the hole punch. If you want to put a keychain in there that is kind of like the ones that you get on your house keys, the circular ones, you're going to need to make your hole punch twice as wide. Again, it's going to shrink, which means that hole that you punch is going to shrink so much. The reason I went with this keychain is because even though I hole punched it, by the time it shrank, the hole was so tiny that this was the only keychain that would fit in there. So make sure that you hole punch it double the space. So I'm going to hole punch right here, and then I'm going to widen it. So there's the first hole punch. Now we're going to go slightly to the side. I'm doing it in pieces, guys. That's the second hole punch. As you can see, that hole is a lot bigger than what it was before. If you're still not confident, you can even make it a little bit bigger. Now, what you cannot do not do this. Do not punch the hole and then stick your keychain or your key ring in there and then put it in the oven. Don't do that. That's not good. You want to punch the hole and just make sure the hole is big enough. I don't know what will happen if you stick your keychain in the oven, and we do not want to find out. It probably would not be good. It's not designed to be in there, so let's not do that. So yeah, there you have it. I will, in a minute, go pop this in the oven, and then it'll come out exactly like this one came out. So yeah, that is how you make a stained glass keychain. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope that you get some shrink film and you give it a try. See you later, guys. Bye.